riding a 4-fight win streak, Mona Kimura was getting ready to tear it up at the Tokyo K1 Arena on September 12th.
To make a comparison for those very old school...
Everyone thought she was going head-to-head with the reigning champ, but K1 officials just flipped the script. Her actual opponent is now the 28-year-old Swiss veteran Marion Nicole. This late replacement just threw every pre-fight prediction right into the trash. If the original matchup was going to be a blood and guts brawl against a heavy hitter, what Mona Kimura faces now is an agonizingly frustrating game of distance management. Let's look straight at the new opponent's stats. 28 years old, with a record of 25 wins and 6 losses. The craziest part? Out of those 25 wins, only 1 came by way of knockout. But don't think for a second she's just some average veteran here to collect a paycheck. Her real trump card? She's the 2021 World Savate champion. This martial art originated on the streets of 19th century France. In this hard-soled boot sport, the fighting style is all about scoring with precise, fencing-like strikes using the toe of the shoe. Strike and retreat, never staying in the pocket to trade damage. That is Marion Nicole's philosophy for survival. She is absolutely not going to be stupid enough to pressure forward right into Mona Kimura's firing line. This is a massive problem for Mona. We all know how she secured that 4-fight win streak, elite counter-striking. Her lead high sidekick acts like premium brake pads.
She really does need to pull out all the stops and go for broke.
The moment an opponent dares to rush in, she throws that kick and stops their momentum dead in its tracks. The second the opponent hesitates, their defense opens up.
Oh, I didn't know that, but yeah.
Then, Mona's straight rear hand lands with sniper-like precision right on their chin. That's exactly how she KO'd her opponent in her pro debut. But there's a fatal flaw in this game plan. The opponent actually has to attack. Nicole will never initiate the pressure. She will lock herself into the absolute safe zone, circling entirely outside the range of Mona's sidekicks. Her tactics are completely transparent. Harass with the jab, chop the legs with low kicks, and immediately slide out of danger. If Mona just stands there waiting to counter, the fight is over before it even starts. Nicole could easily steal the win over 9 minutes just by racking up these pity-pat points. When that happens, it won't matter how devastating Mona's right hand is if she's just punching air. To make matters worse, these two have sparred privately in the past, and Mona Kimura publicly mocked Nicole as a knockoff, even stating, "I will never lose to an imitator." Fueled by that bad blood, Nicole is absolutely going to use her unique Savate kicks to destroy Mona's foundation in the ring. There's a hardcore biomechanical issue at play here. A traditional Muay Thai roundhouse kick requires hip rotation to generate power. It's devastating, but has a long wind-up. Nicole's Savate Fouette kick, however, is completely different. It relies on a rapid snap of the knee, launching the leg in just 0.1 seconds. She'll use these lightning-fast low kicks to chop down Mona's lead leg like an axe to a tree. In stand-up striking, the penetrating power of a heavy punch relies entirely on ground support from the lower body. Once Mona's lead leg gets swollen and the nerves are deadened, she won't be able to plant her feet firmly on the canvas. With her base ruined, Mona's pride and joy, her straight right hand will lose most of its lethality, turning into a completely harmless blank round. However, Nicole's point fighting style has one unavoidable physical flaw when facing Mona Kimura: a 9-centimeter height disadvantage. Marion Nicole is only 157 centimeters tall, while Mona stands at 166 centimeters. Inside the ring, those 9 centimeters are a fatal chasm. If Nicole wants to tap Mona with her toe, she has to take an extra large step forward. That very step will walk her straight into the interception net set up by Mona's long sidekicks. Therefore, Mona's entire game plan needs to be overhauled for this bout. She can't be a stationary sniper anymore. She has to become a hunter. Mona cannot retreat. She has to apply active pressure and cut off the ring. Every time Nicole tries to slide laterally to escape, Mona must step in early and trap her in the corner. During this pursuit, Mona's sidekick can no longer be used as a shield. It must become an offensive weapon. She needs to blast Nicole right in the ribs and stomach, draining her stamina and making the Swiss veteran's legs too heavy to run. But there's a brutally inverted margin of error here. Nicole's margin of error for her kicks is incredibly high. It doesn't matter if she misses 10 times, as long as she keeps circling on the outside. Mona's margin of error, however, is razor thin. To land that heavy punch, she has to voluntarily step right into Nicole's low kick minefield, gambling with the health of her legs. Fortunately, Mona holds two aces up her sleeve. First, when Nicole defends and moves, she never moves her head. It always stays at the exact same elevation. For someone with legitimate boxing training like Mona, that is a stationary sitting duck. Second, the K1 judging criteria. This is Nicole's K1 debut. Over here, judges do not care how many times you scrape your opponent with light punches. They strictly look at substantial, fight-ending damage. It won't matter if Nicole lands 5 light shots, as long as Mona Kimura eats the damage, pushes through, and lands a single devastating blow that shatters Nicole's balance. The judges will award the round to Mona without hesitation. Once Nicole, who is so used to the point game gets backed into a corner, her own muscle memory will get her killed. In traditional bouts, if you get pressured, you can clinch to stall for time. But under the hardcore rules of K1, the refs aren't going to entertain that. This is Mona's knockout moment.
She's showing it so far. Another lovely side kick. She uses it.
The exact second Nicole's back hits the ropes, and she desperately tries to escape with nowhere left to run, her guard will absolutely open up just to maintain balance. Mona Kimura won't need any unnecessary feints. All she has to do is lock onto that split second when Nicole lifts her leg and her head freezes in place, and unleash that straight rear hand she's been holding onto the whole fight, smashing it directly into Marion Nicole's chin.
Bill Wallace really only could fight with one leg.
I cannot wait to watch this fight on the night of September 12th in Tokyo. Will the Swiss veteran torture the challenger to death with Savate point fighting? Or will Mona Kimura eat the damage and completely shatter her opponent's K1 debut with one massive right hand? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below.